it's Melanie, and today I'm going to be sharing with you a few different things. So the first is a review of a Clarisonic replacement brush head that is a generic replacement brush head, but it's really, really good. I also have a little bit of a giveaway for you guys, and then also I'm going to, at the end of this video, actually tell you how to spot a fake Clarisonic brush head replacement head. Those of you who are ordering your Clarisonic replacement heads from Groupon and you think you're getting the real deal, you are totally not, and I will tell you why at the end of this video. So definitely stay tuned for that if you are interested. But let's go ahead and get started with the review. So this company, they're called Procizion, actually sent me an email a few weeks ago and asked me if they could send me these replacement heads and essentially review them and provide them with feedback. And I said I would be happy to do that. But I did say that if I was going to feature them on my channel, that I would be 100% honest with you guys about what I really thought about these brush heads. And I always tell companies that up front because I don't want them to get huffy if I don't like a product. So I always kind of tell them, like, if you don't want me to talk about it, if I don't like it, I will absolutely give you that option. And luckily, they were like, whatever the feedback is, we're totally okay with that. So I thought that was awesome because I've definitely had some companies say, yeah, no thanks. So anyway, they sent me a coupon code to order these suckers straight off of Amazon, which is where you can order these. What I got were two of these generic replacement heads, and they are the deep pore cleaning replacement heads. They fit the Clarisonic, and there were two in the pack. So these guys don't claim to be the real Clarisonic thing. They are very upfront about the fact that this is a generic replacement head. So I have been using this for the last 2 weeks. This is one that I have not used, so I'm going to go ahead and show you guys this one since it's dry. I do have the other one on my Clarisonic currently. And this is what the replacement heads look like when they are all dry. And I also brought out one of my Clarisonic replacement heads in the deep pore brush head replacement to be able to show you guys side by side. You'll have to excuse this one. I used it to take off a mask about 2 weeks ago, and I just haven't like cleaned it up since then because I've actually been using this one since I got it. So there you can see the comparison between the two. You can see that the generic from Procizion over here is actually a lot fluffier than the Clarisonic is. And one of the things that I actually gave the company feedback on is that I wished that there was a way for them to remove about a quarter of the bristles from this inside portion here that actually oscillates back and forth. So for those of you that don't have a Clarisonic does not like, it's not like a spin brush where it goes like 360 degrees around. It oscillates back and forth like super, super quickly. But because this has so many more bristles here, I feel like it doesn't, I don't want to say it doesn't clean as well because it still cleans as well, but I don't feel like it has quite as much ability to move as fast as the original Clarisonic brush head does. When there aren't as many bristles packed so tightly next to each other, I think that allows for a much, I guess, deeper cleaning, if that makes any kind of sense. But that being said, that is my only complaint about this product. What I really like about these generic replacement heads from Procizion is that they are crazy, crazy soft. And that is not something that I can say for any other generic replacement brush head that I have tried in the past. I brought out these Pause Generics replacement heads that I had purchased, and I did a review on these, and I'll link that review down below if you haven't seen it. What I really hated about these generic replacement heads is that they were bluntly cut across the top. The Clarisonic replacement heads are actually, the little bristles are rounded at the end. They are not cut bluntly across, and that makes them soft on your skin and causes a lot less irritation. I feel like these have that same rounded, like, tip to each bristle that the real Clarisonic brushes do. This Pause Generics one, and by the way, this one I did have to get in the acne one because they were sold out of the deep pore, but this was so scratchy on my skin, I actually had to stop using it. I bought 4 of these things thinking that they would be just like the real thing, and they totally weren't. So now I have 4 of these replacement heads that, like, I'm not even going to be able to use because they irritate my skin so much. And what's really amazing about that is that I don't have sensitive skin. Like, rarely does anything irritate my skin. This irritated my skin so badly. It felt so scratchy when I was using it. And I use the Clarisonic properly. Like, I let it glide across my skin. This is not something that you, like, scrub your skin with. It's not, like, that kind of brush. Like, you really, like, just let the Clarisonic do the work. And even by just gliding it across my skin, this irritated and felt so scratchy. I just was not a fan of this at all. This, just like the real replacement heads, just glides across my skin. It's even softer than the deep pore from the Clarisonic brand. And I actually kind of like that because I feel like sometimes I want a more, like, gentle experience. The deep pore brush is definitely the most aggressive replacement head that you can purchase from Clarisonic. So the way that it actually goes is that you have the deep pore head, then next down in line is the acne, then the normal, then the sensitive, then the delicate, and then they also have those new brush heads that are the like the cashmere ones. They're so much more expensive. For me, the deep pore has always been my favorite option. When I first purchased my Clarisonic from QVC, it actually came with a replacement head from every single brush in the line. Not the cashmere ones because those actually weren't out back then, but I have tried the deep pore, which is my favorite. I have tried the acne. I have tried the normal, the delicate, and the sensitive. Out of all of those, I have always liked the deep pore, which is why I'm always repurchasing this one. But this is a fantastic deal for what it is. I feel like the plastic on this is a much higher quality than the plastic from these Pause Generics ones. I really was nervous when I was using this with my Clarisonic that it was affecting the performance. I feel like my battery life was shorter during the week that I was using this, and it just didn't seem to fit on my Clarisonic as well as these Procizion replacement heads did. I have never had an issue putting this on here or getting it off. It's very simple. You just take the cap, put it back on, and twist it off like that. And then to put it back on, you simply just twist it back on, and that's how you change out the brush head. I really, really enjoy using this. It feels so nice on my skin. I feel like it gets my skin clean. Like I said, I've been using it for the last couple of weeks. No signs of irritation at all. You know, I definitely, like I said, I feel like I get a more deep clean from these bristles, from the real Clarisonic deep pore brush bristles. But this, I would say, is almost right up there with the real thing. The price difference between these two is huge. So with the Procizion, you actually get 2 replacement heads for $15. Now, I will put a link down to Amazon where you can find these. And then obviously there's like shipping and handling. These replacement heads, now I actually purchased these about a month and a half ago. I went to Sephora and I broke down because at the time, I had my last replacement head for like 8 months, I think, and it was time to replace it. I normally replace my brush heads once every 6 months because I only use my Clarisonic in the evening to take off my makeup, so I don't feel like I need to replace it every 3 months like it says. I think at 6 to 7 months though, it's definitely time to replace it. So when I went and bought these replacement heads at Sephora, now first off, at my standalone store, I had to buy a 2-pack. They didn't offer the single ones anymore. In the past, I used to pay $25 for a single replacement head, or 2 for $40. Now I had to pay, I think it was $44 or $45 for the 2-pack. So they have raised the prices since the last time that I purchased these, which was definitely a bummer because while I think it's an amazing product, I don't think they should be raising the price on it because they didn't do anything different. Like they didn't like enhance it in any kind of way. It's still the exact same like deep pore replacement head. So I don't know what justified the increase in price, or why at my standalone store they didn't offer just the single refill. I don't know. I didn't talk to an associate, but I just found that kind of frustrating. So I really have to say that I think in the future, I'm going to be sticking with the Procizion replacement heads because I don't feel like they have had any kind of adverse effect on my Clarisonic. I think that you've got to be careful with a lot of the generic brush heads that you purchase for this because this is a pretty huge investment. I bought this with my own money off of QVC when it was a today's special value, like 2.5 or 3 years ago. I can't even remember how long ago, but it was a huge investment for me. I want to say it was like $230 or $240. And this is not something that I want to be throwing in the garbage anytime soon. It should last me for a very long time as long as I'm taking good care of it. I just don't think that a lot of these like generic replacement heads fit the brushes as well. And they just don't work as well. Now, I have actually had girlfriends who have used these generic replacement heads that they bought off of Groupon, knowing that they were generic, and they have purchased maybe like the sensitive or the delicate heads, and they've actually liked them. And they have told me that they don't think that they have an adverse effect on the Clarisonic, but I had a different experience, so I don't know. I think you kind of just have to use your own judgment when it comes to these generic ones because, I don't know. I didn't have a good experience, but maybe they work for you. I don't know. I'm just telling you what I have dealt with when it came to these. So, anyway, I really, really recommend these guys. If you are in the market to replace your Clarisonic brush head, I would definitely think these are worth a try. I obviously haven't tried any of the other ones, the delicate, the sensitive. I'm assuming they're even softer than the deep pore one. They're really well made. The back, the part that oscillates, just it churns so much more smoothly than the Pause Generics one. I just feel like this is a much better quality replacement head, and really my only beef was that I wish there weren't quite as many bristles packed into this center portion, but I can live with that because it still gets my skin super clean every single night. I have not had any breakouts. I got breakouts with this because I think it just irritated my skin so much. So that was like, I'm over these. I don't know what I'm going to do with them. I have like 4 of them. I don't know. They didn't work for me. But this was a really great deal. Another thing that I think is really great about these Procizion ones is that you can actually register the brush heads on the Procizion website, and they will send you a coupon for 15% off of your next purchase. So that's really kind of cool. I thought that was awesome. I got these within like a couple of days, and I'm really glad that the company contacted me and that I decided to take a chance on them. I get a decent amount of emails, not like on a daily basis, but definitely on a weekly basis from companies that are wanting me to try things. If I'm genuinely interested in something, I'll try it. If I'm not, then I'll just say no thanks. But these definitely interested me, just because the last time that I purchased the Clarisonic ones, I was like blown away that they had increased the price of the exact same products. That was just kind of annoying for me. So I was like, man, I'll try them. It's free to try them. But I will definitely be purchasing these in the future, you guys. They are a really, really great replacement head. And like I said, soft, same like level of clean. Just really, really a great product. So I have a coupon code to give to one of you guys. And the only thing that you have to do is to leave a comment below saying that you own a Clarisonic and that you would like to be able to try these replacement heads. Now, I can only pick one person to win. And I would really, like, if you don't own a Clarisonic, don't enter this, because you gotta have a Clarisonic to be able to use, as I throw it, to be able to use these brush heads. Like, it's not gonna do anything for someone that doesn't have a Clarisonic. And it's not meant for any other kind of spin brush. It is specific to the Clarisonic. It'll fit the Clarisonic Plus, the Mia 2, the Aria. It'll fit all of those models of the Clarisonic, but it's gotta be a Clarisonic. So leave me a comment down below saying that you own a Clarisonic and you would like to try these replacement heads. I'm going to draw a winner, let's say this weekend, so you have until this weekend. I'm literally going to draw a name out of a hat. So, and then I'll send you a private message on YouTube. So be sure to check your messages. And I'll maybe also put like something on Instagram. So if you follow me there, you'll be able to see if you won or not. But that way you can go ahead and try these and see if you like them as well. And yeah, I'll be definitely curious to hear your feedback after you're able to try them. So anyway, so there's that. Okay, let's talk about the generic brush heads that they are selling on Groupon that you think are the real Clarisonic brush heads. They're totally not. Here's the thing. When they were featured on Groupon about a month and a half ago, I went ahead and placed an order because I was like, there's no way these are the real thing. The first reason that I know they're not the real thing is because when you go to the Clarisonic website, it clearly states that Groupon is not an authorized retailer for any Clarisonic products. So anything that you're purchasing from Groupon, even though they say they're the real thing, they're not. So I had mine sent to me and I compared the brush heads to my real ones. This is the real one here. Now I'm going to use the Pause Generics one as an example because I've actually already sent the Clarisonic replacement heads back to Groupon and said, you guys are liars. These were not the real thing. So I already got a refund. But they were basically these replacement heads, like literally side by side. Like I could not tell the difference between this and like the supposed real generic one. So when you get a Clarisonic brush head like this, your cover is going to say Clarisonic across the front here. The generic ones, I'm not gonna lie, they did a pretty good job of like almost making it look like the real thing. First, the boxes were a slightly different color. There's kind of that like khaki tan color. There was a difference in the coloring. It was just off by like a shade, like just a hair, but I could tell there was a difference. But everything else about the box, they copied word for word. Now, the real way that you can tell is that with these generic ones, I don't know if you're going to be able to tell on camera. So when you buy a real Clarisonic brush head, there is nothing in the back on the plastic here except for a number that is embossed. For example, this brush here has the number 1 embossed. There is nothing else on the back of this like plastic piece here. The ones that I received from Groupon that said they were the real thing, had the number that they have on there is different. They do have a number, but it's in a different location and it's a different font. Now, the real way to be able to know is that these generic ones that claim to be the real one have this in them as well. And there are 2 other circles that also have numbers in them. It's the numbers 1 through 12. 1 through 12 in one of these circles, and then 1 through 9 in the other circle. I don't think you're going to be able to make it out, which is kind of a bummer. But within these circles, there is a little arrow that points to one of the numbers. And then there's also these other little circles that don't have anything in them. I think it's just from like a manufacturing thing where they, I don't know, they're like little raised circles. So real Clarisonic brush heads don't have that. They only have the embossed number, no other circles, no other little like embossments of any kind at all. And the plastic, you can really tell the difference in the plastic. This feels hella cheap. And the ones that I sent back had this exact same plastic. Literally no difference, and they had the same scratchy, blunt cut across the top of the brushes, or the brush head here. So, yeah. As soon as I got them, I contacted Groupon and I was like, hey, so I know that you guys are definitely either thinking that these are the real thing, but they're not, or 2, you know these aren't the real thing and you're trying to pass them off as the real thing, and I'm going to send this back to you and I want a refund. And I think you should stop selling them. They were totally fake, you guys. If you think that you are getting the real thing from Groupon, you are absolutely not. And if you're fine with that, then that's totally cool. If those work for you and you have not had any bad experiences, heck, keep buying them. But I just don't want you purchasing them and thinking that you're getting the real thing, because you're totally not. So if you have purchased them in the past, I would really get a hold of Groupon and see if you can get your money back. I don't think that they should be trying to pass off the real thing when it's clearly a fake. And it's very easy to tell the difference. They do a pretty good job of copying the box, but they are the exact same cheap replacements that I got from the Pause Generics brand, which, by the way, I also ordered from Groupon. So, I don't know. I just think that's kind of shady. I'm not a fan of that. If you're selling them as fakes, these were clearly fakes, and I knew that. I knew they were generic replacement heads. It even says Pause Generics. But the other ones, they were, Groupon actually stated, yes, these are real generic, because I was looking through the comments and lots of people had asked, are these actual Clarisonic replacement heads? And there are people from Groupon who answered the question and said, yes, they are. Totally not. At least not what was sent to me. So anyway, I just think that you guys should examine that a little bit closer to see if you got the real thing or not. But the way to really know is to just look on the Clarisonic website. Clearly says Groupon is not an authorized dealer, so they should not be selling those to you. Sephora, Ulta, QVC, and then obviously I think Skin Store and a couple of other retailers are definitely authorized retailers. They have a list on the Clarisonic website that tells you which specific websites or which specific stores are allowed to sell the Clarisonic product, either the Clarisonic itself or the replacement heads. So there you go. Hopefully that was helpful for you guys. Definitely leave me a comment down below if you have any questions. And also leave a comment if you want to try these guys and you want to be entered into the little giveaway. So anyway, I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.